Good morning, everyone. Yesterday we had started with the chapter The Judiciary, and we had studied about the Supreme Court, its powers, its functions in details, along with the PIL, Public Interest Litigation. Okay, so in today's class, we're going to study about the High Courts, its functions and duties in detail, its composition, the qualification, and the working tenure of the judges, along with the subordinate courts and the Lok Adalats. So, without any delay, let's begin with the class. High courts. High courts are the highest courts in a state. Presently, there are 25 high courts in India, with some states having a common high court. As the Supreme Courts are important, similarly the High Courts are important in state. Mostly each and every state has its own High Court, but few are having the common High Court. Like Haryana, Punjab, and Union Territories of Chandigarh are having common High Courts. Similarly, Tamil Nadu and few more states have common High Court. Okay, now they are an important part of the judicial system in India. They also play a very important part in the judicial system. They hear they hear to the decisions. They can give their decisions against the decision of the lower courts, of the subordinate courts on appeal, as the Supreme Court gives the jurisdiction on appeal of the cases from the high courts. Okay, now we'll study about the composition, qualification, and the tenure of the judges of high court. Composition. High court consists of one chief justice and as many other judges as the parliament may fix from time to time. So the number of judges are being fixed by the parliament from time to time. It might change. Okay. So a temporary judge can also be appointed from the subordinate courts if the load of work so demands. Like if the cases in the high courts are more in number, and it they are taking time, or we can say the workload is more, so a temporary judge can be appointed from the subordinate courts, but he is appointed for a period of 2 years and cannot hold office after the age of 62. Now the qualification required to be the judge: should be a citizen of India, should have worked as a judge in any court of India for not less than 10 years, or have worked as an advocate in the high courts in India continuously for 10 years, or a renowned writer in the field of law. Either he have worked as a judge in any court of India but 10 years in continuity. Okay, or as an advocate lawyer in the high court for 10 years in continuity, or again a renowned writer in a field of a law. कोई बहुत ही knowledgeable वो person होना चाहिए जिसने बहुत famous कोई book लिखी हो law से related. Then the appointment and tenure, again the tenure is time period. Chief Justice of High Court is appointed by President in consultation with Chief Justice of Supreme Court and Governor of State. सुप्रीम कोर्ट के चीफ जस्टिस को अपॉइंट करने के लिए प्रेसिडेंट किससे कंसल्ट करते हैं? चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ हाई कोर्ट से. सो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के लिए किससे करेंगे? हाई कोर्ट के लिए किससे करा उन्होंने? चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट एंड द गवर्नर ऑफ स्टेट. The Chief Justice and the judges of the High Court can serve till they reach 62 years of age. Now the next is functions and duties of High Court. Functions and duties of High Court. Original jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction of High Court is very limited. Original jurisdiction means originally जो case directly High Court के पास आते हैं. Okay, so that is very limited. Cases relating to fundamental rights, divorce, wills and laws relating to marriage can be brought directly. अगर आपका फंडामेंटल राइट किसी भी कोई भी फंडामेंटल राइट वॉयलेट होता है और अ केस ऑफ डाइवोर्स wills means here the wills means property. Okay, the cases related to properties and laws relating to marriage, these types of cases can brought directly to the High Court. Then the appellate jurisdiction. Appellate means through appeal. So only those civil cases which are decided by the petty courts, petty means the local courts, okay, like the local court of Alwar is a petty court. Okay, so यहाँ का जो decision है, if a person is not satisfied by the decision of a petty court, can appeal to the High Court. So only those civil cases which are decided by the petty courts under the jurisdiction of the High Court concerned can be brought to the High Court by an appeal. So these are the function and duties of High Court. Now the next is yours. Now the subordinate courts. The courts at the district level and below it are known as the subordinate courts. Now these are different courts in each district to decide the civil and criminal cases. Now these are the courts which are at each and every district and they decide the civil and criminal cases. Now the highest civil court in a district is that of the district judge. He also hears appeals against the decisions of the lower courts. So जो highest civil court है, it will be under the district judge. पूरी district का एक judge होगा and he also hears the cases on appeals of the lower court than the subordinate courts. The highest criminal court in a district is that of the session judge. The judges and the magistrates of the subordinate courts are appointed by the governor of the state from the state judicial services recommended by the state public service commission. So here the judges and the magistrates are appointed by the governors of the state. Okay, now the next is Lok Adalats. Lok Adalats. To save both time and money, a system of Lok Adalats have been set up in our country. Under this, a large number of cases are decided in a single day. The first such Lok Adalat was held in Delhi in 1985, decided as many cases as 150 cases in a single day. These Lok Adalats have not only proved useful for the poor and the downtrodden, they have lightened the burden of courts also. See, the Lok Adalats are at the local level and they solve the small cases which doesn't need much time duration, and basically these Lok Adalats are set up for the poor people as it doesn't require a lot of money. Okay, so यहाँ पे ऐसे cases आते हैं which can be solved in a one day. So this was the main motive behind setting up the Lok Adalat, so that the burden of the subordinate courts or the high courts or the supreme courts can be lessened. यहाँ पे एक दिन में बहुत सारे cases solve हो जाएंगे तो आगे forward नहीं होंगे and it will not be pending. Okay, so these Lok Adalats have been set up to lighten the burden of the courts and to and proved useful for the poor and downtrodden. Now, time for your. In today's homework, you have to do question number 1 of exercise D. How do you agree that an independent judiciary is necessary for upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights? Answer is number 1. It protects life, liberty, property of citizens through rule of law. It protects the innocent and punishes the guilty. Number 3. It defends the Constitution. Next question. Question number 3. Describe the jurisdiction and powers of the High Court of India. What type of cases come before the High Courts in India? Answer is number 1. Original jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction of High Court is very limited. Cases relating to fundamental rights, divorce, wills and laws relating to marriage can be brought directly. Number 2. Appellate jurisdiction. Only those civil cases which are decided by the petty courts under the jurisdiction of the High Court concerned can be brought to the High Court by an appeal. Next question is question number 7. Justify the statement that justice delayed is justice denied. Answer is number 1. Delayed justice affects the common man. Number 2. Scholars feel that such delay is a violation of the principle of justice. Number 3. They opine that justice delayed is justice denied. Children, here the meaning of the question is that justice delayed. अगर आपका कोई केस है और वो सालों से चलता आ रहा है एंड उसका जो फाइनल आपको जो जस्टिस मिलने वाला है अगर वो डिले हो जाए तो उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल बहुत सारे केसेस ऐसे होते हैं कि जो लोग केस फाइल करते हैं वो इतने लंबे चल जाते हैं कि उनके साथ कुछ ट्रेजेडी हो जाती है या उस केस का बाद में कोई मतलब नहीं रहता. सो हियर दे वांटेड टू नो कि you have to justify this statement that justice delayed is justice denied. Okay, now after these questions, do the key terms of the chapter that is on page number 256. Now children, with this our chapter over here, it ends here. So please do your work in a very neat writing and send it to me on time. Read the chapter. If you find any problem, please do ask me. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.